Over the weekend, peace talks between the United States and Iran failed. Take a listen from Vice President J.D. Vance.
So we go back to the United States having not come to an agreement. We've made very clear what our red lines are, what things we're willing to accommodate them on, and what things we're not willing to accommodate them on. And we've made that as clear as we possibly could, and they have chosen not to accept our terms.
Joining us now with more, Shervin Pishevar, advisor to the Iran Prosperity Project. Shervin, good morning. Good to see you again.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Okay, these talks lasted 21 hours. Many expected, they could have told you that an agreement would not be made. So why did these talks fail?
I think we all expected that these talks were going to fail. The Islamic regime is a wounded animal right now, and America in 40 days has made them bend the knee. They have no real government. It's a military apparatus, security system that's in place, made to try to survive. As we've seen, like a rat in the corner, their behavior is irrational. They care nothing about the Iranian people. They only care about their own survival and the billions and billions of dollars that they've stolen from the Iranian people. They practice this Islamic Shia practice of taqiyya, which is a form of lying to survive. They just want to buy time to try to fight for another day. They're not sincere actors. As Vice President Vance said, going into the talks, he said if they're acting in good faith and they're here to actually negotiate in good faith, then there's something to talk about. Well, we saw in that one day that they're not.
So what happens now? These talks came in the middle of a ceasefire that was supposed to last a full 2 weeks. So what happens now in this 2 weeks?
Well, all bets are off. As President Trump has announced that there's going to be a naval blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. That's the one leverage point that the Islamic regime had, and that's going away. The other leverage point that we should remember is that they've cut off communications to the Iranian people in the world for the last couple months now. People can't reach their families. They can't communicate with the world. That's to keep people in the dark, like in North Korea. And so this is, we're living in a medieval regime. We're seeing a medieval regime act out. And everything that we predicted that they were seeking nuclear. They didn't give up, nuclear, as you saw in these negotiations. And we cannot have an Islamic regime with nuclear power. We also should remember this is the first American AI war, and we are in a advanced position in AI in the world right now. This kind of precision, lethality, and execution in 40 days has been unprecedented in the history of the world. But that advantage is going to go away. The Iranian people, even within this Islamic regime, who are occupiers, are capable of advancing in those technologies as well. They don't need nuclear to cause havoc, and they'll be having those same AI technologies and automation and drone technologies in the next few years. So if we don't stop this mafia state from advancing, we're going to have the possibility of 30,000 drones coming to New York, instead of 2 planes. So this is a real threat. And this doctrine of preemption that Trump is executing on is he's preempting a future disaster for America and our way of life. Iran, the Islamic regime, has been at war with America and Israel for the last 47 years, and it's time for it to end.
Speaking of time, Shervin, we're looking at about 9 minutes that this blockade is supposed to start in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran's a Revolutionary Guard threatening with a very firm response. And this is, again, supposed to start in just the next few minutes, according to President Trump. So what do you think we're going to see happen today and in the next few days with the blockade now of the Strait of Hormuz from the United States?
The U.S. is executing now on a strategy of choking off the Islamic regime from all of its capabilities of getting more revenue to survive. That is one of the ways. Kharg Island is probably also another way. I wouldn't be surprised if the U.S. took over that island and maybe some of the other islands. And so we're in a position of strength. No one tells the U.S. what to do when it's in the interest of the U.S. And what's in the interest of the U.S. is that Iran become a peaceful nation, that a new Iran is created. And we think the best leader for a new Iran is the Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, who has massive support, as we've seen in the streets of Iran, people chanting his name from the balconies, even in the middle of these bombings. January 8th and 9th, the Islamic regime showed how evil it is and murdered over 43,000 defenseless Iranians in the streets with bullets the size of Coca-Cola cans, on human bodies. Those were made to use against tanks, and they use it on human bodies. That's what they're capable of. And they attacked all of their neighbors. 14 plus neighbors were attacked. If Iran had a nuclear bomb, it would have used it. It's used everything it has. It's used hypersonic missiles, long-range missiles at Garcia to try to stop the B-2 bombers. Everything that they said they didn't have, they have. And so this was a ticking time bomb. If we had not done this operation, this liberation operation, we would have much, much bigger problems to deal with very soon.
Shervin Pishevar, we appreciate your insight and your thoughts. Good to see you.